So let's cut the video. So we wanted to zoom in the camera so you could see the parts and pieces here. Number one, before you do this flush, you want to double check that you've got a flush kit installed. If you don't have these two valves on your tankless water heater, you cannot do this operation. These basically look like a hose bib on the cold and the hot side. You need these. If you don't have these, stop watching the video, call your plumber. You got to get these installed first before you do anything. I'm surprised by how many units get installed without these. These need to be here. Okay, first steps, we're going to actually turn off the gas. Anytime you see a valve, or pardon me, a valve, that if that valve is in line, that means it's on. If it's perpendicular, it's off. So we're going to turn the gas line off. We're actually going to leave the power on to the unit, so the electricity is still running to this unit. And then if you look on the side here, this plumber of ours, this house is a remodel we did about a year ago, has done a good job. These blue lines, this is the cold water side coming into the water heater. This red side is the hot lines going into the house. We're going to turn these again in perpendicular to the pipe. Pretty straightforward. And we're going to turn them both off. So now there is no cold going into the hot water heater and there's no hot going out. Okay, so first thing I want to do is actually I'm going to open this valve a little bit. Hopefully I won't hit the camera with the pressure. Nope, just a little bit of water in that system. We're going to drain that water off. There's not much in there. That's just how much water was in the system. Next thing we're going to do is open the cold side. Now we're actually going to get a little more because we've broken the vacuum on that thing. So this is just the water that was in the tank itself. Now grab yourself a Leatherman or another type of tool. We love these Leatherman Skeletools. Everybody in my company owns one of these. And we're just going to turn this little, what do we call this thing? This is the pre-filter for the unit. We're going to take the pre-filter out now and check it before we do the flush. And you can see all this is just this little bitty stainless steel inline pre-filter. Gosh, I'm having troubles getting out of there. There we go. Maybe you can see that on the camera. All that is just a little pre-filter, and it's pretty clean. There's not much on there. It's just a little bit of grit on there. And the only way to clean that, or the easy way to clean that, is just drop that in a bucket of water, clean it up, you're good to go. We're actually going to put it in for the flush, and then we're going to check it again at the end just to make sure that we didn't clog it with any sediment that came out of the system. So back to the ingredients. We need to, before we start this, we need to go down to the local grocery store and pick up about 3 gallons of cheap distilled white vinegar. I'm using just standard 5% acidity, nothing special here. A couple bucks a gallon. We need about 3 gallons of this, 4 gallons of that, something in that range. And then we need that 5-gallon bucket, and I actually poured a couple gallons of the vinegar already into this bucket right here. We're going to pour 1 more gallon in here, so now we've got about 3 gallons ready to go. Bear with me for 1 second here. Okay, so that's going. Next we need our sump pump. This sump pump is going to sit in the bottom of this bucket, and this bucket that I've got is a nice flush kit that you'll see a link to in Amazon. It keeps the bottom of the sump out of the very bottom of the bucket. Unfortunately, I've used this one a bunch, and you can see my valves have rusted a little bit. You need to do a real good job of cleaning these when you're done. We want to connect this up to the cold side so that we're running the vinegar through the pre-filter first. And I hope that this rusty one is going to work. It may be time for me to upgrade these hoses. We're about to find out. Now we're going to run a line from the hot side right back into the tank. So all we're doing is we're making a big continuous loop, nothing special. Okay, that's it. Now let's plug the tank in and let it run. Think you plug that in for me back there? I'm kind of like Cinderella. The squirrels help me out over here. Oops. Yeah, see, that's my problem on this one. Let me tighten this up just a little bit more. Let's go back to the handy Skeletool and see if we can get it tightened. Ah, not quite big enough. Dang it. Pair of channel locks. That would have helped me greatly last time. So here's what we're going to do. We're just going to tighten this up a little bit. We had a little bit of rust on here, and we want to tighten that up until we got a good seal. All right, if you'll plug that pump in now, All right, now we're pumping real good. So we want to let this thing run for about 60 minutes to an hour, or 60 minutes is an hour, pardon me, 60 minutes to an hour and a half. At a minimum of an hour, hour and a half is probably a little better. All we're doing is just recycling that vinegar through the boiler, getting any scale off of there. And then we're all done. We're going to do the exact same process to hook it up, except in reverse. We're going to undo these. We're going to close these valves. Then we're going to open up the cold and the hot side after these are shut off. Then we're going to turn the hot back on, or pardon me, turn the gas line back on. We're also going to pop that filter out one last time, just make sure it's nice and clear. Real simple operation. You really want to do this to maintain your tankless water heater's life. A tankless water heater really should last 20, 25, maybe even 30 years if they're maintained. And as long as you do this on a regular basis, you're not going to have any problems out of yours. That's really double the life of a tank water heater, plus all the benefits of increased efficiency and, of course, endless hot water, which makes a big difference if you got a big family that's taking lots of showers right after one another. Thanks for joining me, everybody. We'll see you next time.